Hello, welcome to another video. My name is GT. You can call me the creator. And today's video, we are actually going to be doing how to trim your image out of a background in case you want to place it in another background, or you want to do anything with the image, how to trim the image. First of all, we want to thank Adobe for giving us a good update that could help our working scheme very fast. So first of all, let me do the trimming that I forgot to do before anything. Let me do the trimming. Sorry, we have to delete this, reset, delete, reset, and first of all, let's try to trim this image to our Instagram size, which I always do for all my image, because right now it seems like Instagram has restricted us to this format. We cannot even do anything less, but I think the 5:7 ratio is better, but we are going to do it this way. So I'm going to select my image, select subject. Normally, this is what we all do at the moment. We all do this particular thing to improve to just give our image a good look, because we feel like this particular method works better instead of us using pen tool to start trimming the image. And this is one thing almost every photographer out there do right now. So before I start removing and talking about any other thing, I want to use the subject selection tool, this tool here that has a square and the arrow on it is a subject selection tool. So I am going to select. If you have used this tool before, you understand. If you have not used it before, you could drop a comment. I could make a full video about how to use this tool, but this tool will help you use this AI and select the parts you want to remove and still keep the parts you don't want to remove. So this is what I do. I go around everywhere for every single image that I have to retouch. So normally, if this is how I want it, if I feel like the trimming of this image is okay for me, the first thing that some persons will do is just to mask it. So they will just mask it, then come to the refine mask. Then after going to refine mask, the next thing they want to use this to touch the edges and make sure. I'm just doing it in a rush, but this is one thing that people normally do. Then they will move some of these sliders and they'll say okay. So when they say okay, let's put a background under. Let's put a background under. Okay, so we have this background. For this background, it's not looking too bad at all, but for some other background, it might not be looking the way it's looking now. So for that reason, we are going to try out some other backgrounds also. Now it's taking too much time to load, but we are going to double click, and what we are trying to do is to try and make sure no matter the background we put it's going to work well. Now for this, we are seeing a lot of rough edges, but it's still not on the bad side. For blue, as long as the background is very bright, it will be giving you this look, but once you bring it down, you start getting this white stuff at the edge, which you can just then apply, then create a new layout and mask it into that particular one. Then use your tool, this tool, to start. We have to fill this. To fill that, we fill it with F5, Shift F5. Then we just put it at 50% gray. Then we change it to linear light. So at this point, we just start brushing. As you can see, it's even too harsh, which we are going to reduce. We start brushing the edges to make the edges look darker. Then we reduce it. We reduce the opacity. So some persons normally will work with it like this. This is the before and this is the after. These are some persons who work with it because they are already used to working with it like this. But now I am going to show you a method that works. So instead of me going through all of that, I'm just going to undo all of that. Then I'm back to where it was. So when we get to this point, for me, the way I normally do it is, when we get to this point, I choose maybe the lasso tool or one of these tools that has the select and mask. Then we click it. Once we click it, it's going to take us into the old refine edge panel. From here, the next thing I normally do is just to click refine hair. When I click refine hair, after it's finished loading, I feel like the refine hair works way better than any other one of them. So places like here, I might just move my brush around here, then here also. Then I will just say okay. So when I say okay, I am just going to just jump it into a new layout because that's what I normally do. Then I will just bring in a new background. As you can see, it's better. It's better than the one we have been doing since. And it's faster. If you still want to do some adjustment after this, there is also means of you there's also means of you coming here after you click the refine mask. After you click it, after it has done whatever it's going to do, you can just move some of these sliders to see how good it can be, then come to feather edges and smoothen it a little. Then I'll still have to brush here. Still have to brush that part like I said. Then I'm going to say okay. So I have retouched some other ones of this image. So I have a background I want to use already for the image. So I'm just going to go back to this other one, then bring the background in. Just drag it in. Then we get this. So at this point, if you are that kind of person that still feel like it's not okay for you, you still see some white somewhere that you don't like, you could duplicate this so that if you make mistake, you can go back to the original one. So you off it, then the one on top, you just come to layout, then come to matting, then the fringe. So when you do that, you see some little parts being fixed. So if you feel like this is better than the way it was, then you go with it. If you feel like the previous one is better, then you go with the previous one. For me, this works very well, but I can still do a fix by creating a new layout, holding down my Alt, just masking it to just this, the image itself. Then I'll change this to soft light or maybe color. Then I'll just change my brush to the original brush. Then I'll pick a color. Then I'll just paint the edge with it. Pick another color here. Sorry, pick the wrong color. Then paint. So with just that little thing being done there, if I turn this off and I start picking up different backgrounds, you will just see that it's matching perfectly. Yes, even if the background is dark, it will match better than the way it was. So this is what I wanted to show you for this video. If you think this video was helpful, do it to give me a like. If you feel you like the video, do it to share the comment and also drop a comment. Share the video, and also drop a comment so more persons would be able to see this. Thank you once again and see you in my next video.